Hey, what's going on, everyone? I'm gonna do a live trade. Um, Earlier this morning, I was targeting internal liquidity to external liquidity, and this was the low-hanging fruit on the hourly. So I was in and out. And for the PM session, it looks like we did a stop hunt here, and we're closing bullish. Okay, so if you don't see it, this is your bearish leg right here. Okay, then you do a stop hunt here on the hourly. Now this leg here, we're disrespecting the left side of the curve. So this is your bullish leg. Okay. If I zoom out to the daily, what do we have going on? We came, we took previous day's low, we took sell side here. This sell side here has been taken already. We didn't take this low here, but this sell side has already been taken by ES. So right now we're gonna more than likely close as a wick like this. So what does that mean? This means that we're probably gonna come. We have a daily volume imbalance right here. You see this? So this is something to eyeball. I'm gonna put a purple. And then I have another one right here. This gap here is a volume imbalance on the daily time frame. So we have this low that was swept. So I'm going to mark it as SMT. We have in our hourly time frame, we have this displacement. So right now, what we're looking for, we're looking to do this, and then do this. Okay? Because we're disrespecting these PDRAs on the left side. You see how we close bullish above this CIBI? This is an inverse fair value gap right here. So right now, we're going to react, and we're probably going to get target more buy side. Okay, so let's see. We are inside a time of interest, and see these are you're getting your retracement, you're getting your SMTs here. Um, More than likely, what I'm going to do is I'm going to push pause on this video, and I'm going to come back the next time of interest, because this time of interest is already done. Okay, and this is going to be your buy side, and I'm going to put it yellow. I'm going to leave it like this so you can see it. I'll come back the next the next time of interest, and what we want is we want the market to pretty much do this, and then we will target. This will be your market maker buy model. So I'm going to go ahead and pause it, and then I will be back later. All right, we're back. So what's going on here? This is the next time of interest. What are we going to do? So we always have to, if this happens, then that happens, or if this, we can't always, we just have to be patient, and we have to play what cards we get dealt, okay? So I'm going to go back to the hourly time frame. Ideally, we want this high to stay there. That way we can target buy side here in a little bit. But if we purge this hourly high, then we're going to expect a retracement to sweep at least internal high. So this is your, it's always internal to external liquidity. So this, think of it, if we're looking at the hourly time frame, this hourly high is your external liquidity. and then internal liquidity would be this hourly low. So just so you can kind of see it better, this is your sell side. Okay. So A to B or vice versa, B to A, whichever one. So let's zoom back in to the hourly time, to the 1 minute time frame. You see this? These are your time cycles. So here, during this time of interest, this high was already swept by the Dow Jones and by ES. So let's see what happens. All right, so what do we got going on here? We're inside our time of interest. We purge buy side, so we're gonna look to purge internal liquidity now on our higher time frame. What I'm looking for here, I'm looking for a form of SMT. Um, you don't have to wait for SMTs. I personally like waiting for my time of interest, and I like waiting for a form of SMT because I don't have any form of SMT on our higher time frame. I will look for type 2 SMT. I haven't identified a type 2 SMT here, so I'm just gonna have to wait. And if it dumps without me here, then it's just gonna have to go without me. But these are signs of reversals right here. Why? Because we purged your buy side, and this here, this is a high. Okay, so you see how this candle? I mean, you can look at ICT concepts, ICT's videos to see that, to understand these highs. You can tell by the wicks; these are highs, so they're signs of reversals. I wouldn't execute because normally I wait for another stop hunt. So what I like doing is I like waiting for stop hunts like this, and I like to have a form of SMT as well. Why? Because the probabilities are higher, but that doesn't mean that this cannot play out. It doesn't mean that they can't just reverse without us. And this is just part of the game. A lot of times I miss trades because of that. So, like right now, these highs were already swept. These are your SMTs. So keep in mind, I told you these highs, these are signs of reversal, right? Now, if you look at this wick here, we came. If I zoom in, look at this wick, because these wicks are gaps as well. Look how we came. We respected it. We closed bearish below it. We have our SMTs up here. So now, once you could have pushed the button here. This is at 1451. You could have pushed it there, and then have your stop loss up here. I'm gonna wait, and I'm gonna do this with 3 contracts. So I want us to reprice a little bit higher, and then I will push the button. And again, this can very well dump without us. This is sell side right here. This is what we're eyeballing. Remember, external liquidity on our higher time frame. This is our internal liquidity, so this is what we're eyeballing, okay? And I'm doing this candle by candle. I'm trying to break this down so you can understand how I'm seeing the market. If we can reprice back up here in this zone, I will push the button. We're disrespecting this side. You see how order flow changed on the 1 minute? This is what I do every day, okay? And I'm trying to do a step by step breakdown on how I'm seeing the market. So we have these SMTs down here from this BISI. So we're probably going to get a big retracement somewhere up here because of this SMT. We purged this liquidity in here. And you could push the button there, but you're just going to have a huge stop loss. So I'm just going to wait a little bit more. That could have been just an immediate rebalance there. Let's see if we go up a little bit more. And why is because you see the low of this candle. You see how we came this bottom of this wick or this candle. We reprice. Not only that, when we start disrespecting the left side of the curve, you can get, let's say, like this candle, the body of this candle. You bring it to the side. You see how we reprice, and then we're closing below it. So, but I'm not just doing this. Uh, Keep in mind, we looked, we identified the program from identifying our higher time frame first. Okay. Then when I identified what happened on our higher time frame, then now I'm looking at my lower time frame during my time of interest. I want to have another fractal SMT up here somewhere in order for me to push the button. If it dumps without me, then it dumps without me. Um, but yeah, I want some of these candles to be purged, have a form of SMT. These candles here closing as wicks are signs that it wants to dump. Okay, but it's not lining up with a form of SMT, so I'm not pushing the button there. But yeah, if you look at this wick, the low of this wick. We keep touching it and we keep wicking. So these are just little things to look for. So if you're just tuning in, we're targeting sell side here, but I can't. In order for me to push the button, I want to see a form of SMT, another fractal. Um, this is your hourly open. The only SMT I've been able to identify is this one up here. You see how we close inside of this civvy? I mean, you could have pushed the button there again. Um, but again, I don't like this, target this low. But again, I don't see another form of SMT in here, so I am not pushing the button. But if you missed this entry up here, this could have been another good entry. We already opened. We're closing below inside of this range, so that could have been another entry there. So here I did jump the gun. There was an SMT, and I should have waited till the candle closed. Now there is no SMT, so it's not wrong. It's just my probabilities are less. If I want the probabilities to be on my side, I want to be. I want to have another fractal SMT. So here's your civvy. The order flow on this minute time frame, we're still bearish. We're closing inside of this leg. So if you want to be technical about it, this is your 50% of your range right here, right? You see how we manipulated back up? And then what happened? This 1202 candle, this 1202 candle here immediately closes back inside. So this candle here with the imbalance, we're still closing below it. So we're repricing into 50%. Stop losses above that. Now we have our SMT here. We're going to wait, see if it closes below this, and it respects that as an SMT. So we're coming towards the end of the macro, so we want to start seeing large candles towards the downside. All right, so it looks like we're starting to see some traction here. Um, Here's my entry. We sat through some drawdown on this one. Um, we looked at the higher time frame. We analyzed what we were looking for. So the probabilities were on our side. However, what we're wanting always to have a piece of SMT, because if we have SMTs, the probabilities are higher to be on our side. Now that we are closing bearish like this, we're wanting to stay closing bearish. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a low here, and I want to. We can reprice back into here, but I'm looking for us to stay closing bearish. So we can retrace back in here, but all of these are so all of this is sell side liquidity. This is sell side liquidity. We've already purged up here. Okay, so we looked at the higher time frame. We purged our higher time frame. Okay, so we're looking for internal liquidity. To minimize risk, this is a high right here. It's not an SMT high, but I mean, if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong, right? And it'll come and stop me out. But I don't care. If I lost, then I lost. But it's not, I'm still reducing risk. Okay. Now, you see how I highlighted this low? What exactly did we do? We came back, we repriced into this low, and now we're closing below it again. Now, at this point, manage your trade however you like. If you cannot hold the trade this long, at least this is at least a 1-to-1. So I mean, if you like to take partials, this is a 1.2. So if you like to take partials, you can take partials and then move your stop loss a little bit. That way you can minimize risk. So we close below this low. So I want us to stay below this low. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go break even because if I'm wrong, then we're going to get stopped out, right? But I'm not risking anything. You manage your trades however you like. I don't get bummed out if I get stopped to break even. I was just on the wrong side of the market, you know? So you have to, after you do this a long time, you just have to learn to detach yourself from the outcome. And I don't care if I'm wrong, but I'm not risking any money anymore. If we create another form of SMT down here, then I will take a partial, and then I'll start moving my stop loss a little bit more. All right, so see what we got going on. I wasn't paying attention. I would have taken a partial there. One, because we did a stop hunt. We closed as a wick, and we have a really small SMT here. Um, so we could possibly see another retracement up. So yeah, that could have been a good partial right here. We have the Cibi. See if we can get this respected. All right. Well, we're stopped out. That was that. This again. This would have been a good partial right there. And whenever you're looking at the market like this, if you see a form of SMT, we purge liquidity like that. You're going to catch a retracement, which that's what we did here. All we did is just get stopped out, um, and it looks like we have a form of SMT here. So um, it could just come here and then dump, but I mean we're stopped out in on break even. There's no loss. If you have any questions or anything, put them in the chat. Y'all take care, guys.